Next on Cracked, the Aluminum Lady. How does a woman of privilege become one of America's most dangerous villains? One of the original jet-setters, the Aluminum Lady traveled with an A-list crowd, which came as no surprise to anyone who knew her. Her mother Leona's marriage to Harry Helmsley made her heiress to a real estate and hotel empire, including New York's Helmsley Palace. But the Aluminum Lady had fallen in love with globetrotting and decided to go into commercial aviation. With some help from her mother, she began working with Sir Freddie Laker to launch the first low-fare transatlantic service in 1977. Her relationship with Sir Freddie was a short one when he discovered she'd conspired with other airlines to help drive him out of business. She did not stay grounded long and joined the infamous Frank Lorenzo to bust the labor unions at Continental Airlines. She teamed up with Robert Crandall at American Airlines, and soon both were accused of using dirty tricks to cause the collapse of their Dallas-based rival Braniff International. Eventually, they were cleared of wrongdoing. Now nicknamed Bonnie and Clyde, the Lady and Robert Crandall launched their next battle against the flight attendants of American Airlines, who went on strike against the airline. The airline was grounded for 5 days until President Clinton ended the strike. They completely decimated the relationship between management and workers by allowing that strike to happen. It's never been the same. What people don't realize is that Southwest Airlines is heavily unionized, yet their management is able to create a harmonious environment. She had already found a replacement for Crandall, and his name was Don Carty. She and Don went on a buying binge, picking up Reno Air and later Trans World Airlines. The purchase gave AA more routes and planes and made the dynamic duo ultra wealthy. Now it was time to strong-arm employees into concessions while giving themselves and their other executives bonuses if they succeeded in getting the concessions. Once word of the executive bonuses got out, Don Carty was forced to resign. Had the Aluminum Lady made him the scapegoat? It seemed her friendships with the who's who through the years had given her immunity. She often traveled on Air Force One with the Bushes, and in return, they'd seen to her safety at American Airlines. She wasn't going anywhere.
She was ruthless. There was really nothing that she or the other executives couldn't do. First-class travel, board meetings in Monte Carlo, private jets, extravagant company homes. No matter how much money the company was losing, they just didn't care.
She surrounded herself with people that weren't even as smart as she was and made sure they had no passion for the airline business whatsoever. As years passed, American Airlines was slipping. Once the on-time machine, now delays and cancellations were skyrocketing. The Aluminum Lady and her protégés were asleep at the switch. As the airline was hemorrhaging millions and employees worked for 33% less pay, the Aluminum Lady and her team gave themselves almost $500 million in bonuses. Workers bristled over the Aluminum Lady's decadent lifestyle of extravagant parties, first-class travel, fur coats, and even a luxurious $30 million London company townhouse. Meanwhile, as she and the other leaders at American Airlines played, airlines like JetBlue and Virgin America began beating them in some of their most valuable markets.
When I asked the executives what they planned to do in order to compete with the live TV at JetBlue, I was told that we were waiting for better technology. That was over 6 years ago. I was then told our flight attendants are too old.
The Aluminum Lady has hired Mitt Romney's company, Bain Capital, to help American Airlines breathe new life into its workforce.
We're using the same strategy that Mitt Romney says works on the immigrants. We're going to make it so damn difficult for them that they're going to deport themselves. Although we're talking about employees, they're going to resign. I want to make them quit. No need for a severance. They will just quit. Make it unbearable for them. That's our strategy.
They now had angry employees and worn-out airplanes. It seemed the only thing they'd become good at was flying broken airplanes and making employees feel alienated. One employee that spoke out was terminated and is now being sued by American Airlines. There has also been a crackdown on any workplace discussion on social media such as Facebook and Twitter, and employees are being harassed, investigated, and disciplined. But workers are striking back in their own way. Aluminum lady stickers are turning up everywhere. Workers are enjoying laughs at management's expense by donning aluminum hats at tea time in London, creating aluminum lady smoke 'em out bag tags. Is the management team of American Airlines the biggest joke ever at any major airline? Even the customers think so, with more and more showing their support to AA employees everywhere. American has responded by delaying flights in order to remove aluminum lady stickers from airplanes. In the meantime, they've failed to plan for pilot retirements and now are short pilots to fly the full summer schedule. Many flights will be canceled during the summer and fall, with many long-haul international flights to be affected due to the Boeing 777 captains that are retiring. We just want new leadership at American Airlines, whether it's a merger with U.S. Airways or we have to have someone else buy us that actually sees employees as an asset. We want to make this airline number one again. Many of us also want to see the aluminum lady and her team brought to justice for the crimes that are being committed. For instance, companies providing contract workers to replace those being laid off by American are now being run by former American Airlines executives who've already taken their golden parachutes and are now getting rich off the suffering of the other American Airlines employees. For now, the aluminum lady and her team are pressing on with their plans to cut employees' pay another 20%, all while refusing to take pay cuts themselves. Stay up to date by visiting aagossip.com.